Oh, here it is. Here's the Boob Bet guy. Brian Zembic famously won a $100,000 bet in 1996 by getting 36C breast implants, and to keep them for a full year, he collected the money, kept the implants, and still has them decades later. There's definitely a fetish going on there. There's definitely.
That's commitment to the cause.
He was ahead of his time in 96. Beyond that, he once bet $14,000 to live in a bathroom for a week, settling for $7,000 buyout after 6 days. This guy may have had a gambling problem.
A little.
That's the sickest thing you've ever seen.
That is insane.
No, you should see the picture. It's insanity.
Insanity.
Welcome to Trying Not to Die. All right, so our guest today went from rocking a mullet and crushing Gold Gym's workouts in the 1980s to becoming the go-to face specialist in Beverly Hills. He's the guy celebs and CEOs fly in from all over the world, and when they want to look younger, sharper, and camera ready, without looking done. He's mastered the art of cosmetic transformation and the science of aging well. So smash the subscribe button and welcome Dr. Jason B. Diamond.
Thank you very much.
How are you, Dr. Jason?
I am so good. So glad to be here.
I'm glad you could be here. So you guys are like lifelong buddies.
It's got to be about 20 years. Yeah, right? About 20 years. So Jason and I grew up in a very special time on the East Coast, right? When people had these glorious mullets. Mm-hmm. By the way, we'd love to change your bio picture of this great mullet. I mean, I don't know how much we have to pay.
Wait, let me see. Is that a legit?
That's a achy breaky heart.
Wait, is that a real picture or is that an AI picture?
No, that's an AI picture.
It's AI, but that's kind of what my mullet looked like.
Let me tell you, this would be a good bio picture, and he looks probably the same he did in the 80s.
My goal in high school was to be able, if I could put my hair into my mouth, I knew I had it right.
That was great.
That was my goal.
Was it permed?
No, it wasn't practiced.
I permed mine.
I have the Jufro. I have the naturally curled.
Oh, see, mine did it. I had a perm mine. So Jason and I met about 20 years ago, and the great thing is, as soon as we met, we went right into the 80s. We went into the mullet. We went into the Gold Shims tank tops. I might not be right on this. Did you have an IROC-Z?
No, but it was we couldn't afford it, but it was my dream. Everyone in my town had it, and I thought it was like having a Lamborghini.
Where did you guys meet?
We met at Dr. Sands' house.
Yes, we did.
In Beverly Hills. In Beverly Hills.
And what year was that?
2006.
Okay.
2007 maybe. 2007.
Okay, something like that.
So the greatest thing about Jason is we really connected instantly about the 80s. IROC-Zs, which another thing is I couldn't afford it. And my dad got me this old Jeep with no air conditioner. I'm like, oh, don't worry about it. I could drive a car with no air condition. Let me tell you something. I was sweating like I was in Cambodia. It was the worst thing ever. But I wanted an IROC-Z. Mm-hmm. And the great thing about it, it had these T-tops on it. But I'm lucky I didn't get it because I was really lazy with cars. Like I put my top on, I'd take it off, and the top was ruined. And the IROC-Z, if you took the T-tops on
Wait, what is an IROC-Z? You keep saying IROC. Okay.
It's a Camaro.
Okay.
And it's special because, it really had this body that embodied the 80s of like the muscle car. Sorry to say, we can say Guidos.
It was a Guido car.
And if you drove this car and you wore a tank top, you were the most popular guy in school.
Wait, can you not say Guido?
You had to wear your weight belt with it.
It's true.
Can you not say Guido? Is Guido a bad word now? What happened?
No.
No, I mean, it's not a bad word.
I don't think so.
It was like all the cool Italian guys had their hair slicked back. They were all lifting weights from the time they were 8, and they were yoked. And they were driving these cars, and that's who you wanted to be in our town. That's what you wanted to be. You wanted to look like that. You wanted to be like that.
Yeah, one little funny story. I was on the Garden State Parkway, which he knows, in Jersey. I got pulled over by a state trooper. I had a Gold Gym tank top on. I was about 150 pounds soaking wet, but I thought I had these big muscles. This guy came to the car waddling. He had about 20-inch arms. My arms were probably 14 inches. And he said to me, he started laughing, license registration. I go, why is this guy laughing at me? I gave him the license registration. He came back to the car and goes, I go, why are you laughing, officer? He goes, I got to tell you, we could play pirates. You could be the sunken chest. I've never seen a guy that thin in a tank top. I've never seen a guy that thin. I go, I go, come on, officer. He goes, I'm letting you off with a warning because I've never seen a guy so thin.
Wait, you literally got off with a warning purely out of pity?
I was wearing a red tank top, and it couldn't fill in anything. It was drooping down. I looked in the mirror, and I thought I was 225 with 18-inch arms. My arms were like bakery strings.
You had like reverse body dysmorphia.
Reverse. So the great story is, we connected, and as soon as and again, when you finished medical school, you came out here, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Came out here, yeah.
And as soon as he came out here, he went to Gold's Gym Venice, and he was very close with Arnold Schwarzenegger's buddy, right? Roland Kickinger.
Yeah, Roland. Yeah.
Now, did he make your food?
Roland, I hired Roland as my private trainer. He made my food. I went to his house and worked out with him at his house every day. Like for 5-6 months, I was on the full-on program with Roland. Yeah.
So it was great.
Great.
Okay, so let's dive into a little bit. I love muscle shirts and fast cars, but I wanna dive into a bit about kind of your career, what you do, why you do it, what drew you to become the face guy.
So I came to LA because this is where all the best surgeons in the world were, always have been, and are, and always will be. Okay, and so I wanted to. When I came out, I didn't want to just hang a shingle and start practicing like most guys do. I was like, I need to learn the best techniques from the best guys. So when I finished my residency, I spent about 2 years living on friends' couches, living out of my car, and just studying with the most famous guys out here. I wasn't making any money, but I said I want to learn the best. So when I wanted to learn facelifts, I studied from the top 15 facelift guys in town.
How does that work? Do you just go knock on their door and like, hey, I just graduated, I want an apprentice? That's
right. And most guys like me, if we see a nice, humble, like eager kind of kid come to knock on the door, just the way I would let him in too. But no one does that because everyone wants to start making money. So I got this experience for 2 years. Whatever facial techniques out there, I learned from the top guys. Oftentimes the people who created those particular procedures, I learned it from them. So I came, when I started my practice 2 years later, I had all the best techniques under my belt. I figured out how to make, take a little piece from this guy, a little piece from that guy, and kind of make it my own and make it the best. And that's how I got started.
What was the first recorded facial cosmetic procedure?
Well, there have been rhinoplasties documented from thousands of years ago in like Egypt, I think, where they would take people's bumps down on their bridge, like literally thousands of years ago. But as far as facelifts goes, the first one documented, I believe, was in around 1900, where they just removed a little extra skin.
Wow.
And then they kind of slowly advanced to what we have today.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I remember seeing in like old Hollywood movies, they used to glue those wires on the actresses' faces. Have you ever seen that?
I have.
And then they would like pull the wires back, and it was like before.
I have.
Does that work?
I have.
Yeah.
I have. And I noticed, I was watching a movie the other day, and I couldn't believe it. I don't want to out the actor, but let's just say he's like one of the top guys of our day. And I was watching one of the movies he was in, the mob movies he was in, and I'm looking, and he was probably 45 years old, and I noticed, I was like, holy shit, I noticed that there were some unusual creases. So I paused it. I'm like, he's got tape. This probably 43 at the time, playing a major mobster in a movie, like a guy's guy, and he had tape pulling his face back.
Wow.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep.
Man in the mirror.
Yep.
Wow. And what drew you in particular to wanting to do facelifts out of all the cosmetic surgery out there?
Right. Well, when I was in high school, a friend of mine was involved in a car accident in 10th grade, and his face got all smashed up and it was like all deformed, and he required, and so before he had it fixed, he was like devastated. No one's ever going to want to go out with me. Look at me, I look like a monster. He underwent facial surgery. They reconstructed him and made him whole again. And I was so influenced by that. It impacted me so much. And so not only that, once in a while he'd bring in pictures at the time. This is the mid-'80s. There were no cell phone pictures. He had Polaroid pictures the doctors took of him during the surgery, and he'd bring him in once in a while. It had his skull pulled down, all the plates and screws and the bones.
My God.
And everyone would run for the hills. But I was obsessed with these photos. Like I would sit there and look at him, and I'd always ask him to bring them back, the photos back. So it just kind of clicked with me, and that was my first exposure. When I got to med school, I was like, I always remembered that, and I gravitated towards facial surgery because it's the most intricate anatomy on the body. It's some of the most delicate procedures on the body, and I just gravitated.
Well, you can't hide it. That's the thing too. It's
right out front and center.
It's like, it's the first thing you see on someone.
Yeah.
The weird thing is, and I've known you for 20 years, it's become so mainstream, Jason, that I don't understand. Like, I see people in their 20s that are perfectly pretty or good-looking guys, and all of a sudden they're getting all this plastic surgery. Why is that?
I think that I always like to say, like, I was part of the revolution. I make a joke, but I really am kind of serious. When I first got started, when I came out here, there was a show that just started called Dr. 90210. My very first year in practice, it had already been on, and it was like this. It was this reality show about plastic surgeons.
Sure.
And it showed their patients, but it also showed some of the doctors' private life. And people, like, it was this huge hit. So they got picked up for a second season. They only had the first season. They got picked up for a second season, tripled their airtime there. And they were like, we need to add talent. I always laugh. They called us talent. But so they were looking for a couple extra people other than the guy who created the show. And they liked me for the facial specialist. So I got this role. Okay. So this show was on E, and it had reruns. It would rerun like 20 times a week, and it was seen in like 200 countries. And
wow.
I think, yeah, it was huge. The exposure was huge.
I remember that show.
And I think that that really helped bring this discipline mainstream, because we would profile normal people. We would profile people. I mean, we had some celebrities on there, but we had some regular people too. We had some guys on there, just people who were self-conscious about something. We made them look better. And then the cameras followed them after their surgeries, followed them in their life, and saw how it just really improved their quality of life. And I think the rest of the world really saw this. And I got, after like the second season, and we were on for like 8 seasons after that, but after the second season, I'd get emails and calls from doctors I didn't know from all over the country saying, I want to thank you so much for showing natural results, showing normal people, because it's helped my practice. Like, so I really think that was part of the mainstream, that these shows that kind of brought it, that brought it front and center.
But what do you think about the fact that people are doing it younger and younger?
When somebody is self-conscious about something, oftentimes, like, people will go to the gym because they want to improve their body because they're self-conscious of it, or they want to feel more confident, and everybody applauds that, right? And there's billion people probably in a gym right now somewhere in the world. But if you have like a large nose, or you have like a poor jawline, that's something you can't exercise away. And so if you have a problem that makes you self-conscious, you know, to be able to address that can really significantly improve your quality of life. And so age really isn't a factor for some people.
Yeah.
It is fully accepted as standard of care to fix a kid's ears with large ears at 5 years old. That's the recommended time to get it before they get to school and have all the trauma of people making fun of them.
Sure, yeah.
It really makes good sense.
Okay,
Yeah,
people,
that does.
And people with their noses. You don't want to really touch a nose till someone's fully grown. So for girls, that's about 16. For 15, for boys, it's about 16. But the second they're fully grown, if somebody's got a large nose or a disfigured nose or something, it's totally recommended to address it at that time so that they can move on with their life and see themselves in a better light.
I mean, it's great. It's great because I have such a small nose. That would be not something I would ever do, which would be great.
Wait, do you walk around? Do you, just because of your job, do you, like, when you meet someone, do you scan and are you like, I could fix that, I could fix that, I could fix that?
In 2 seconds.
All right. Okay.
In 2 seconds.
What would you do? What would you do?
You're perfect.
No,
man.
come on.
You're perfect.
We have to elongate your face a little bit.
No, what would you fix?
So, all right, here, take your glasses off for 1 second. Hear me. What I would do is I'd make you a little more top heavy, a little less bottom heavy. Okay. Your face kind of goes like that. We want to see more of a V shape.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we would do.
This should be your new lips because they look like they're stenciled on.
Ooh,
You want to get those lips?
I look
Let me
good.
see.
Because I was noticing about Jack,
Oi.
his lips are very thin.
I
I mean, they look
My
like
lips
there was
are not thin.
It looks like they were stenciled on your face.
I
with
don't
a
have
pencil.
thin lips.
No, this,
I don't think I have
You don't
thin
like
lips.
this? That would be perfect for
I
you.
think I could.
It's David Blaine. It's David Blaine. with
David
big
Blaine.
lips.
All right, what about that guy?
Are you ready?
Well, Drexler, here, look at me. Yeah, so Drexler, yeah. So
Shave
look,
the nose down.
I would shave the nose and I would tighten the neck up a little bit.
Yeah, it's gonna be tight. It's sagging.
Yeah.
And I use a lot of cream, by the way.
You do?
I have to start getting on his cream.
And by the way,
Well, that sounds weird.
Hey now.
and by the way, it's
a
important.
little
It's
tighter.
important to understand.
I do this every day. It doesn't work.
But let me. It's important to explain something that your audience may not know. Men sometimes are even better candidates than women. Men sometimes, when you fix a guy's jawline up, they go on and kill it in business. Like guys are just as good when they're a good candidate.
Yeah.
It's not for everybody. It all depends on your anatomy. It depends on what your goals and your desires are. But man, when you tighten up a guy's neck, or you like give that, man, it's just as important for guys as it is for women.
So Doc, with men, again, because I might need it a little bit, how do you shape the cheeks to get them, looking fantastic?
There's many different ways, but there's many different ways to shape the cheeks and to enhance the jawline and to give somebody a more masculine, like V-shaped look. People often ask about buccal fat reduction. Buccal fat reduction is a nice procedure. It's a procedure where we go inside the mouth and we just reduce the fat pockets that live like right at this part, the chubby cheek part. And so like if you were to suck your cheeks in a little, it gives that kind of contour. So like if you came in and said, I want my, you asked me what I would do, that might be one of the things we would talk about.
Like that.
It might be one of the things we do, Jack.
Look.
Yeah, because you asked, that might be one of the things we do. It's not that dramatic, but it's slightly dramatic. But to give somebody less, we like to see more top-heavy faces like this.
Like Jack.
And so it's a good way to reduce that. It's a very effective procedure for the right person.
Do you think social media today is a huge contributing factor to why plastic surgery has become so popular?
I think social media is important. I think just similar to the way the TV shows back when I started Dr. No 2.0 and there were a couple others, I think that really like kind of started the boom. And then social media, right, it brings awareness to people. I do think that's an important factor. Yes.
Fortune Business said that in 2024, the plastic surgery industry was a $56 billion industry.
I believe it.
Do you only see it going up and up?
Yeah, it's only getting, because people are becoming so, again, when I first started, even my vision of what plastic surgery was it was only for big superstars, like, and the people you saw on TV who always kind of look kind of weird, like Michael Jackson and Joan Rivers. Like that's even what my vision of was it. That was my vision when we first started back in 2000, But now I think people, because of the exposure, people see these undetectable natural results. For guys, they're masculine results. For women, they're just beautiful, harmonious results. And people see that and realize I can look my best in an undetectable way. And it's better when you have that, when you address something that's really making you self-conscious, it's the best thing you could ever possibly do for yourself. Take the best haircut you've ever had and how that makes you feel, multiply that by 1 billion, and that's how you'll feel when you really tighten up that loose neckline. You know what I'm saying? Like, take the best article of clothing you've ever had and how you feel like, Brad Pitt when you're wearing it. Multiply that by 10 trillion when you tighten up. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's so powerful to make you feel like incredible, and to be able to give that to people is incredible. But I think people are aware of that now too, because there's so much exposure.
So I know Nikki Glazer has said that you've done some work with her, on her. I don't know what's the terminology there. I mean, do you look at her as like a great example of your finest?
Yeah, Nikki's a perfect example. Like a glow up that leaves people guessing, that's perfect. Like no one really knows. People just look their best. And there have been, over the past 4 or 5 years, there have been these people who come up with these major glow ups. And I have a hand in many of them, and no one knows what they've done, and they just like look amazing. And it's oftentimes some significant things. It's oftentimes very minor, little inobvious things. And it's but when you're just leaving everyone guessing and they're like wondering, nothing's ever obvious. Oh, she had a facelift. Oh, she had this. When you keep them, that's kind of what my signature is.
Another question is, and we know people, and I have to ask you this because and we'll talk about it later. You and I work out. We're very much into fitness. And, we get thin because we put the hard work in. I don't get, and we know someone, we don't have to mention his name, guys come to you and say, hey, I want abs. Now, what's that all about? It seems absolutely bizarre. Like, hey, can you give me some abs? Like you're
talking about ab implants.
No, but
like a 8-pack, 6-pack.
They would have a 6-pack.
Wait, it's an implant.
So let me start.
Let's really talk about, because I don't understand it either.
So as you all know, I'm a facial specialist, but I know all the top body specialists in town, and we do a lot of non-surgical body things in the office, like all the machines and devices, which can be very effective. So there are some devices in the office that actually contract the muscles, and they've gotten pretty popular, and people will come in and they'll have these sessions where they put it on whatever muscles they want to develop, and it can give a maximal contraction, like more intense contraction than you can get working out.
Oh, these are the electric.
The electromagnetic thing.
Yeah.
And it's shown some benefits. Like people, people do it consistently, it can actually improve muscle tone. Now, I don't recommend that over exercise, but some people will come in for that. There are other people who will actually want to have surgical procedures where they etch these abs, these ab lines, and there are liposuction specialists. There are liposuction specialists who do that, and it actually works really well. They can actually get pretty good results. Now, it's funny when kind of fatter people, heavier people, weight challenge people, whatever you want to say, when they go in, they can still get abs etched in, but then they kind of like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They have these big bellies with these abs. It looks, and we know somebody who kind of looks like
absolutely.
that. But it is kind of funny. But yes, there are all different kinds of ways people will try to address that. But to a health conscious person, and from a medical perspective, best way to do it is with the hard discipline of diet and exercise.
How much reconstructive facial surgery do you do versus just cosmetic?
I don't do much reconstructive surgery. I will reconstruct some noses here and there, but not much.
Okay.
That's kind of something that requires oftentimes the university setting, and I'm not really working at a university.
Okay.
So that's kind of like the younger guys and the university guys who do the reconstructive things. I don't really do much of that.
Okay. So you don't have like a freezer full of noses and chins and
or guys that want to come and get boobs because they lost like the golf tournament. You've heard about that, right?
The Vegas guys. Yeah.
You heard about the Vegas guy?
Yeah.
Wait,
he lost it. He had to get a boob job. It's
What?
true.
Yeah.
Tell him, Jason.
Yeah. In Vegas, these Vegas guys, they're kind of crazy, like these gamblers.
It's true. You gotta listen.
These gamblers. They make all kinds of crazy bets. I've got some stories that I've heard. Yeah, so one guy lost a golf tournament, or lost a golf bet, whatever the bet was, and if he lost his punishment, his loss was he was going to have to go get breast implants. He did. A guy went in and he had breast implants put in.
That's the sickest thing you've ever seen.
That is insane.
No, you should see the picture. It's insanity.
Insanity.
I mean, he got D's too. I mean, they were like, you could keep my drink up here. I mean, they were ridiculous.
And how long did he have to keep him?
I don't
A month
know.
probably.
We have to find the stats
that's
out for that.
horrible.
We might have to find the stats out.
Did he look like, was he Bob from Fight Club?
Yeah, kind of like that, right? Exactly. Meatloaf. Yeah, Meatloaf.
It's Meatloaf from Fight Club.
But there was another story I heard. These guys made a bet. One guy bet another guy. Said, "I bet you can't sit in a perfectly blacked out room with no electronics, no electricity, blacked out everything for a month." He bet him like $300,000, and the guy said, "I'll take the bet." He literally went and sat there for 3
Aaron Rodgers went to a place in Seattle because when he was starting to get back into football, there's a place you can go.
Yeah.
You heard about this, right?
There's like Vipassana. Is it Vipassana?
Vipassana?
It's a type of meditation where you sit in silence for like days and days on end.
There's a place in Seattle that you can go to. And it's like a couple of $1,000, and you can either last 24 hours or 48.
In a blacked out room?
Blacked out. When
Complete
people want to
darkness.
recenter.
Darkness.
Want to recenter.
Okay.
You can go in Seattle. I heard about that. I go completely nuts.
Yeah, me too.
All right. Oh, here it is. Here's the boob bet guy. Brian Zembic famously won a $100,000 bet in 1996 by getting 36C breast implants. Okay. And to keep them for a full year, he collected the money, kept the implants, and still has them decades later. There's definitely a fetish going on there. There's definitely.
That's commitment to the cause.
He was ahead of his time in 96. Beyond that, he once bet $14,000 to live in a bathroom for a week, settling for $7,000 buyout after 6 days. And he bet poker legend Doyle Brunson in a $14,000 ping pong showdown. This guy may have had a gambling problem.
A little.
Addiction.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. Have you ever seen those guys? They were like two best friends in Hollywood, and they got all that crazy plastic surgery. Have you seen those two dudes?
The Watabe brothers?
Yeah, I want Ryan and I to look like that. I want to be
the Roxbury.
I want Ryan and I to be the new Watabe brothers.
We should.
Oh,
I'll wear
the Roxbury
Versace.
guys.
Yep.
Oh,
I'll wear Versace.
Yep, only Versace, and I want to.
You, me.
Ooh,
And I
just
want
threw
a
my neck
pet
out.
white tiger.
Oh, you want a white tiger?
Yeah, let's get white
I once saw it in
tigers.
someone's house in Beverly Hills. I was looking. He was petting his tiger. How did he even get that in his house?
Do you want to hear the craziest thing
me hear
ever? So our house that we filmed the Osbournes in, we bought it of this guy who at the time was the president of some country in the Congo, and his name was President Bongo. And no joke. And when we were looking at the house, we were like, my mom's like, yeah, this is gonna be this. She goes into the guy's closet, and he had his like campaign t-shirts, and we stole one of his campaign t-shirts. I put it on under my hoodie. We walked out, but all around the house, they had pictures of them with their pet lions and like crazy exotic animals.
I heard that story. Isn't the one that took out Siegfried or Roy?
No, that was later.
Okay, it was later. I thought it was the same one.
No,
okay.
no, yeah.
What did the campaign T-shirt say?
It was like President.
Bongo?
It was President Bongo for the Congo. It was like in.
Don't worry,
can't make that up.
No.
We'll take all your tax dollars. I'll have
No,
like
he
a full
got-
Ferrari
he-
collection.
No, he got deposed. He got kicked out. He was like proper
A lawyer
like
deposed him?
what?
A lawyer deposed him?
No, he got like a deposed president. He gets you get like ousted.
He got
Okay.
ousted.
Yeah.
So, Doc, where do you draw the line on if someone comes in and they want a procedure?
Well, so there's many things that go into that, but the most important thing is that somebody is doing it for the right reasons, and the best reason is that they just want to feel better about something they're self-conscious about. That's the best reason. A bad reason would be, my girlfriend just broke up with me. I need to fix this so that I can get her back. That's a bad reason. Like people who are doing it so I have to determine if someone's doing it for the right reasons or the wrong reasons.
I would have done that back in the day.
And a lot of people do, but yeah. And so
Someone's got an earring. Go ahead.
and then I got to make sure that somebody's a good candidate. Like I can give them what they want, and what they want is appropriate for them. I see a lot of people come in, performers, actors. They'll come in with their agents and their business people, and oftentimes the business people are doing all the talking. And they're saying, we think for this role that she needs this or he needs this, and the actual patient isn't saying anything. And then we'll always tell everyone they've got to leave, and I just am going to talk to the patient because that could be a bad situation when they're being forced to do something. So there are many reasons why I might not think somebody's appropriate for a procedure, and we have to take it on a case by case basis.
And I can attest to that because I've come and gotten a procedure in Dr. Diamond's office, and I like to joke, and during that time he is very meticulous to look and make sure everything's perfect. And make sure that, he's treating me, obviously as a patient looking and to make sure that I'm getting the best result. And he talks to me, he educates me.
Does he tell you to shut up and listen?
No, I can't do that. It's impossible unless you punch me in the jaw. I'm like a gum runner.
We have to bring Coach in just to silence
I'm too much
you.
of a joker. No impulse control.
Wait,
Yeah.
I got a question. I heard, and because my wife's giving me shit for it, I'm getting a bit of cauliflower here. Can that be fixed?
Cauliflower cannot be fixed.
He can give you one.
It cannot be fixed.
Yeah. How come?
Because it's damaged cartilage. That's what caused it. And I've seen people come in where they've got the fluid. Grapplers have come in, they've got the fluid, and they say, Doc, I want the cauliflower ear, but I just don't want the infection. Can you give me some? But I want to make sure I get cauliflower. People want to get it, those certain grapplers. So yeah, but once the cartilage gets damaged, and then that's not fixable.
So
Completely nuts.
what's your thought on a lot of the, you hear these facial treatments where people are putting like umbilical cord blood on their face and like with a vampire facial and all, like what's the deal with this?
So you're talking about like bio-regenerative techniques, and I am a big proponent of that. As a matter of fact, I developed a skincare line based on it because I'm such an expert in this and something I've been doing for a long time. The main principle of like a bio-regenerative or a biostimulating or a biomimetic technique is that we are introducing growth factors into the body. So when we're young, we have a lot of proteins floating in our body called peptides, growth factors, and these stimulate the body to regenerate and repair. And that's why youthful people with an abundance of these growth factors heal real well. Kids oftentimes won't even scar when they get cut because they heal so fast. As we get older, we lose the production of these peptides, these proteins, these growth factors, which is a big part of why we age and a big part of why we develop diseases and a big part of why we don't heal as well as we get older. Now, when you tweak your elbow, it lasts 3 weeks versus when you were 17, it lasted 2 days, right? So we've learned how to use growth factors and reintroduce them into the body to stimulate healing and repair. So when you hear about all these types of things, that's the general principle. Now, there's some that are very well studied and very sort of state of the art, and those are the things that we do. There's all kinds of, every day you'll hear about different things coming out from different parts of the world. Some people are talking about salmon sperm and all these other types of things, but there are a lot of fads and a lot of things that will kind of come and go, but there are some standard sort of growth factor treatments, and you often hear things like stem cells and nanofat and exosomes and PRP, which is from your blood. So that's what we're talking about. These things are potentially the future of medicine. I'm on the cutting edge of these things. It's what our skincare line is based off of, and it's the most. It can be some of the most effective ways for anti-aging purposes.
What's in your skincare line?
So, my skincare line's got 3. So, I created this procedure in the office called the InstaFacial. The InstaFacial is a medical procedure that people come in for. You may have, someone you know may have had it. It involves it involves taking your blood. I've had a bunch of them on my face. My skin's never looked better, but it involves taking your blood. We take your blood out, and
yeah, it's great.
And when we take your blood out, we extract the platelets, which is filled with all the proteins and the growth factors, and then we introduce that back in a concentrated form. And it involves some lasering, it involves using some needles. It need to apply it topically and then push it into the skin with needles. It involves injecting some of the growth factors. But it's one of the most effective ways to maintain your youthful skin, to reverse sun damage from the skin, and to keep your skin looking its best. And so that's my in-office treatment. It's become like a world-famous procedure because of how effective it is. People flying from all over the world just for that, even though...
And this is your pioneered technology
treatment. This is my pioneered technology. This is my treatment that I created. And even though I'm a facelift specialist, people flying from all over the world for these 10-hour facelifts, they will literally also flying for this 30-minute small procedure, which that's how effective it is. And so based on the in-office InstaFacial, I took all those principles and created my skincare line called Dr. Diamond's Medicine. And so we have what's called the InstaFacial collection. It's these 3 products, but essentially, and I won't go into the details of what they each are, but these 3 products replicate every aspect of the in-office InstaFacial. So for people who can't come see me to have an InstaFacial, this allows them to have it at home.
It's funny because even before it was like 2 weeks ago, before I even knew we were going to be chatting with you, I was like looking in the mirror and I was like, fuck, man. I was like, I remember when I was a kid, I was like, I didn't give a shit. Like, no sunblock, drag my face through the dirt.
How was your Dove kit? Like just a bar of Dove soap.
Yeah.
I had a Dove kit with one thing. I bring 2 Dove kits now.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I bring 2 big Dove kits.
I used to use nothing but Dove soap.
Me too.
That's all I used.
On my face.
Yep.
I know, but I'm like the world's, because I never really had like bad skin or anything like that.
You have amazing skin, by the way.
But like,
Jack.
it's all just beat up and sun damaged because
it's amazing.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't think. I don't
your
know.
hairline.
My hairline's good.
It's like a chia pet.
Well, listen,
you have the best hairline I've ever seen in my entire life.
I can say this, right? I might not have a 6-pack, but I got a sweet fucking hairline.
You have the sickest hair. I mean, I'm looking at it now, and your haircut, it's crazy. It's so thick. Good.
Well, I mean, not to call you out, dude. But I don't know what you fucking did, but you grew your chia pet back strong.
Ancient Chinese secret.
Dude, I don't know what you did.
Don't worry about it.
But you...
Worry about yourself.
No, I've never seen anyone bounce back.
You know why? Because you didn't tell me to cut my hair because it looked like a roadie from your dad's band.
Doesn't matter. Rude. No, but
you didn't tell me. It was all over the place. It was spots missing. You weren't a good friend. You know what you just said to me? You look like a roadie from Black Sabbath.
We both had long hair at the same time.
Yours was better. Yours was thick.
Because I had the Jufro.
You know what mine looked like? It looked like a firecracker went off in there. You should have told me.
But I never thought that was a real thing, that you could actually regenerate hair.
So we can regenerate hair using that same principles that I just told you about, using growth factors. Yeah. And we do that in the office with some procedures that which work really well. If you are trying to like reestablish a hairline, we have multiple medical techniques that we do with hair transplants.
The surgery.
There's that. There's also a procedure where we can actually lower a hairline. We can bring your actual hairline down to make it to decrease the forehead size. There's many surgical procedures. So there's many ways to
I had a friend do that surgery where they take the strip, they scalp you, and then they reimplant. It lasted a while.
How does hair look?
It looked good for a while, but then it started to thin again.
Well, here's why. Because
Propecia?
here's why. Because whatever process he was going through that was making him lose hair, if you don't address that and you just transplant, the transplanted hair stay, but the ones behind it will still go. So when you do a hair transplant, you have to do things to prevent the further hair loss, and there's many ways to do that.
What causes hair loss?
Technically it's a chemical called DHT that floats around our body. When the DHT levels are high, some people are sensitive. It attacks the hair follicle essentially. And so some people's hair follicles are sensitive to DHT, some people's DHT elevates for many different reasons. And so that's the technical reason. But it's a genetic thing most of the time.
Can you test for it? And is there things you can do if it's like, oh, it's looking like you're a candidate for hair loss?
There are things you can test for, and there are things you can do to prevent it. Yes.
Oh, interesting.
Yes,
yeah.
yes,
See, I never knew that.
Yes.
I'm just thinking, our listeners are probably, I mean, I know for guys, it's a big thing. Like losing your hair, it's such a, and it's something that
big thing.
Doesn't really get talked about. Like, hey, this can be prevented, and it's
a big thing. And you know what's so great about what we're talking about here? I find that I find that for guys, and I take care of a ton of guys, I find that guys just sort of need permission to know that it's okay to address something. Like a lot of guys are so much hubris and so much pride, and I'm never gonna go in but they just need permission from a guy like you. They need permission to say, it's okay if you're self-conscious about something. Go talk to someone, address it. And sometimes people just hear that, and all of a sudden, like, okay. And I have so many guys that I've seen that have gotten permission from somebody, not like you're allowed to go, but you know what? It's okay to go. When they find out it's okay, then all of a sudden it's like this huge weight lifted off their shoulders, and they can do something.
I mean, not to blow smoke, but it's funny. It's like, Drexler's like an older brother to me in the sense that like we've been friends 24, 25
24 since 2002, since the boat.
Yeah. And it's funny. It's like a lot of, I kind of treat Ryan like that in the sense of like when it comes to certain like health things and lifestyle things, I'll never become a vegan, but there's a lot like jujitsu and just general health stuff. Like I will often, oh, Ryan does that. Okay, cool. Like that's something I should look into.
Yeah. So the great thing, Jason, and Jason became and I close on many fronts. We talk about the skincare and taking care of your face, but it's more about the internal. Jason and I are tremendously into this longevity thing now. And Jason and I talk about this all the time. I'm actually going to be doing a study at UCLA with some really top doctors that I'm working on. I know that you go to an unbelievable doctor that I'd like to bring up with Jason, but there's so many people now, between our age, you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, people want to live to 100 and 120. And that is going to be 100% possible.
Yep.
Now, the only thing people have to understand, and we're going to talk with this about Jason, is there's not going to be a magic pill. And Jason and I talk about this all the time. Some of his richest clients who have studies that they're doing on their own will come to Jason because Jason understands longevity. And let me tell you, Jason's on the forefront. He knows a lot of people. And Jason understands this because he studies this. But kind of give us, and want to have a back and forth on this, what's your thought on this and the things that you do that you see why this is going to be possible?
Yeah, so to start, like you said, right now there are a lot of little things, but there's no magic pill. It's still, this whole longevity, anti-aging thing is still all centered around discipline. It's centered around the things that we've known forever. Sleep, getting enough sleep, eating right, and working out. Those are like the main things. All the supplements that people spend billions of dollars on and all these little things, that is literally 1.5% of the pie. 98.5%, 99% of the pie is the hard work things, okay?
Yeah.
Now, as we get better at understanding how to use the stem cells and that technology improves, this is where people's excitement is really coming from. So there's a Dr. Yamanaka from Japan, and he's part of the Altos company, which Bezos invested in. Yamanaka factors are a series of genes he discovered in combination that when presented to a certain type of tissue, can take that aged tissue and bring it right back to like its infancy.
Wow.
And so it could actually like reverse the aging process. Now, I think some people are hoping that this will be ready in a year or two. I don't believe that's the case. No. I think it'll be 20, 30 years to understand how to do that. Yeah. But there are things like that in the future very possibly could be applicable to human longevity.
Are we all going to Benjamin Button ourselves? We're all going to die as babies?
And then right now that could be the case. Right. Like if you apply those genes to yourself right now, we'd all turn into a pile of primordial soup, right. But there's all kinds of things. So who knows where it's going to go. But for right now, the best thing you can do is
how many hours a night do you sleep?
I try to sleep 7. Try to sleep 8. I usually get between 7 and 8.
8?
Yes.
What's the first thing you do in the morning when you wake up?
First thing I do in the morning when I get up is I have a big bottle of bottled lukewarm water, like room temperature water.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
What is it, like a liter?
Yeah, it's the first thing I do.
When's the last time that you eat at night and the first time you eat in the morning?
So I will eat at night, whatever I eat dinner, and then after that I'm done. So 8 o'clock, and then the first thing I eat. So after I have my water, then I'll have my coffee, then I will go my cold plunge, then I will work out, then go my sauna, and then I'll eat. So I probably eat around 9.
Speaking of coffee, I used to nap in my car at lunchtime until I met this psycho.
It's nitro cold brew. It's like a thunderstorm in a tuxedo.
Yeah, vigorous. It's like your iced coffee started training jiu-jitsu.
No sugar, just Brazilian beans and nitrogen.
Nitro means smooth, and I still haven't blinked in 6 hours.
It comes in 12 packs. Don't be weird and just buy one. Be an adult. Buy a case.
Available online at drinkcaveman.com. Link is in the description below. Don't be weird, just like Ryan said.
Oh, so 13, 14 hours.
Yeah. See, I like that you do cold plunge first.
Cold plunge.
A lot of it's funny.
He's right.
He's right. There's a big thing about I'm friends with Dr. Andy Galpin. Do you know who that is?
I know Galpin. I've talked to him many times.
Galpin's great.
I've talked to him many times. Yeah.
He did this whole thing about how doing a cold plunge. The order of people get the order wrong.
They get the order wrong.
Yeah, and how it can actually have like adverse effect on muscle growth if you're getting the order wrong with cold plunge and sauna.
That's right, because working out the most important thing we can do for vigorous aging and anti is lifting weights.
Yeah.
More important than stretching, more important than cardio, more important than anything. Okay.
It's true.
And how does lifting weights work? We're breaking down our muscles. That workout process and breaking down the muscles causes inflammation. The inflammatory process is what stimulates all the healing and the repair of the muscle cells. So what happens if you have a great resistance weight training session and then you go in the cold plunge? The cold plunge kills the inflammation. You completely kill your muscle rebuilding process. So you want to do it before a resistance workout, not after. You can go in the cold plunge after a run, after a stretch, after yoga, no problem. But you want to go in it before a weightlifting session, not after.
Do you get down to the whole room temperature thing with how you sleep?
Yeah, I turn it down to 65.
65
okay.
too.
Yeah.
Deep freeze.
Last time I was chatting with Andy, he was talking about that, how he's designing these rooms.
Yeah.
It's the crazy. He would actually totally.
He should come over to my room. He should come over to my apartment. My room's already like a deep freeze.
So Andy he's designing these bedrooms.
Okay, Kim loves it.
that are like toxin free. There's all these gauges to check the like CO2 versus oxygen in the room.
I want that for my next house. And I've heard about this.
Yes.
And I want my room to be like dark like this at night.
And it's a specialty mattress that heat regulate and cool regulates, because there's a whole thing about
might be toxic.
What?
Might be toxic.
No, because the whole thing.
Organic mattress, by the way, from New Zealand. You know what I mean? It's vegan.
How much? Wait, do you have one of those like $100,000 mattresses?
No, that's BS. By the way, I was sold on the Hastings. I was sold like a sucker. I bought a $30,000 mattress,
dude.
And let me tell you, when I was spending money like it was Brewster's Millions, let me tell you, it's BS. Kim found one from New Zealand. 1,500. It's the most natural mattress of all time.
So a couple months ago, Pete, our producer, he was at my place in Idaho, and he's like, "Man, this mattress in this guest room's great." It's like, and my parents bought like the furniture because that's where they stay. So my mom brought a mattress and a bed.
It's crazy.
And Pete's like, "Oh, I want to Google that mattress. It's great. It's really comfortable."
It's like 35 G's.
He was $24,000 mattress.
Oh, there you go.
And he was like, "I won't be buying that one."
Guy from the mattress police.
No, Pete's had many wars with mattresses.
So, it's all about, and again, I'm very much, I just had this test. You ever hear the T memory cell test?
Yeah.
So I just had it done. So I have this really good immunologist who Jason has met from UCLA. I'm all about inflammation. So everything I check now is inflammation. And I recently found something out that I never would have found out if it wasn't for this test. So I have a history of prostate cancer in my family. So I'm so crazy. I had a biopsy on my prostate. Didn't need it.
I remember.
Okay,
when
you remember
did
it.
that.
It was the worst month of my life.
Wait,
by the way.
hold on.
I wasn't walking. Let me tell you something.
Oh.
He went really deep. Sorry. Hey now. He went really. It was the worst experience. I'm going to tell you right now.
Wait, can I just clarify for our listeners?
Please.
Ryan voluntarily, without the need to have it,
I know.
had a prostate biopsy.
He was bored.
Yeah, I was bored. And I'm going to tell you something. It was so bad for I don't even, guys. I don't even want to tell you.
Dude, I
but
remember.
let me tell you what I found out though. Let me tell you what I found out because of this test. They went deeper into my history. I had this weird
Yeah, they did.
shaped prostate. Hold on, weird shape. Only 30%. I can't empty, urine properly.
Okay.
Okay. So what we did is we figured out that this would have affected me in 20 years, my kidneys. So right now I'm a massive supplementation to rectify that and bring the inflammation down. So I had
Good use of word.
I had a natural PSA.
To rectify it.
Yeah, I had a natural PSA of 9, and now it's down to like 4 because of this. So this could be something. I don't believe in a magic pill. I test myself for everything. I'm at UCLA every week.
Yeah, no, I actually that's
Yeah.
where I was this morning.
I could see it. I was gonna ask you.
I was doing my blood panels this morning.
So-
I do every
Yeah.
4 months.
Yeah,
So,
that's
Jack-
right. It's important to do that.
I want Jack talk about your guy because I'm very fascinated and I really Jack's guy, Dr. Allen, right?
He's not a doctor. No, he's
Okay.
he works with a doctor, David Allen. He's a nutritionist. I've been seeing him
This guy's amazing.
for 10 years.
This guy's amazing.
So I've got MS, and I'm not saying it's 100% attributed to, but I don't take medication for it. I've been off meds for like 7 years. I do a ton of supplementation. I'm probably taking 20 different pills a day. And I feel good. And it's funny. It's like so
It's
much.
amazing.
And like, I was having this conversation with my daughter, and I was saying, I don't necessarily care what I look like. I care how I feel. And that to me is like the most important. It's like, hey, if I can, because I've struggled with weight my whole life, yo-yoed up and down. And it's like, but if I wake up in the morning, like feeling energized, nothing hurts, like ready to go and like just feel good throughout my day. I don't feel like bloated and gross.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, cool. Like
Yeah.
that to me is like a sign of things are working.
Totally. Well, there's a saying we have in our business, and that is when you look your best, you feel your best. And when you feel your best, you do your best. Feeling good is extremely important. And so it all kind of plays in. But yeah, feeling great. I mean, then you're going to go do your best.
Yeah.
I mean, Jason and I are 54. I mean, I look a little younger. I mean, but I'm just gonna tell you, the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
Jason does his workout, very heavily in jiu-jitsu, almost 20 years. I train 3 days a week. I don't have anyone my age in the school, and I attribute to it my diet, my sleep, my nutrition, and supplementation. And it's just work.
Are you the oldest black belt at the gym right now?
One of the oldest. But I'm the only one, so I'm a second degree. I'm the only one that's consistently training because of what I'm doing. People would tease me about, I believe being vegan and my low caloric intake is really helping with my immune system and my inflammation in the body. And I believe that, and again, I want to hear from you because you have very, very successful and wealthy people that we don't have to mention, but they come to you and ask you for advice.
Totally.
It's unbelievable. Some of these people, they can go to the best people in the world, but they know that because look at it the way you look at 54 years old. You look phenomenal and you're healthy. Like you and I, we know a lot of people, and it's funny because a lot of people in their 50s now, I mean, that's almost the new 80s. People are passing away.
Yeah.
And it's all about nutrition, and I think all about screening. Like I'm very much on that because it doesn't matter what you look like some on the outside. You can have something wrong on the inside and you don't know until it's too late.
Yeah.
Which you believe in.
Yeah, it's true. And there, those pre-novo scans have gained popularity recently, which is that it's that
Full
screening MRI, that full body MRI. So there's things that people do, and I'm not saying or telling you should go do that. I actually haven't done that.
Me either. Yep.
Because I don't really, I haven't hopped on board. But there are all kinds of things, people are being proactive and screening and stuff. But again, back to what you say, the reason that you're doing so well in jiu-jitsu, the reason we're able to do this, it's all comes down to discipline and making the right choices and doing the hard things.
What's your thoughts on that guy, the Silicon Valley dude who's like reversing his age?
Brian, I know Brian very well.
Oh, you do?
We talk all the time. Brian and I talk all the time. Yeah, he's become a good friend of mine. Look, Brian's main thing is he's extremely disciplined.
Yeah.
So Brian goes to bed early. He wakes up early. He works out daily. He eats, he stops eating. Interestingly, the thing that I think is the most incredible thing he does is he stops eating at like 11 a.m. Doesn't eat the rest of the day because he's, through all his years of tooling around with things and measuring and honing and refining, he has found that when he has that amount of fasting before bed, he sleeps the best.
Oh, interesting.
And for him, he's very focused on his sleep, and he's like, perfected his sleep over the, it took him a while, but now he's perfected his sleep from that. So again, Brian's got a lot, but the main thing is discipline, and it's making hard choices and doing hard things.
And that ultimately, I mean, you said it, I don't know, one of you said it earlier about the whole, there is no magic pill.
There is not.
And I think people have got so used to like, take this one thing and ta-da, you're good.
That's right.
And it's like, even with the weight loss peptides, you see so many people hammering this peptide, but they're not exercising because they're like, I'm losing weight, I'm good. And their skin just hangs off their bones.
That's right.
And that's it's right. I think it's a fantastic drug. I do. I think it's an amazing thing that they, have uncovered. And it's funny, there's so many, people in my family have done it. I've done it at periods of time. But like, I look at it like the pros of that peptide, those peptides, so far outweigh the cons. And I was having this conversation with someone in England recently. They were asking me about it. And I was saying, look at all the adverse health risks of dealing with, being overweight versus the adverse health risk of those peptides. It's like, being overweight, it's like the list is, hundreds of possibilities, and there's like maybe like a few adverse side effects from it.
I agree with you. I think that, I think that people should, if they've tried everything else, I think people should always try to do it with hard work, because you're going to set those habits which are going to make 100%. You healthy. But some people, despite their best efforts, can't lose weight. I'm all for getting on those medications, get down to the weight that you want, but along the way, eat better, ingrain those habits. And then I think it's a good idea to get off them once you've gotten to your baseline weight and maintain that with your habits. But I'm all for people getting on if they need that extra help. Because the metabolic implications of being overweight are really significant, more so than people even think. The way the glucose, your insulin sensitivity is affected when you're overweight, and all the cascade of events that occurs based on that, which can really affect somebody's quality of life significantly.
Heart disease, liver disease. I mean, it's just like, you look at it, it's like,
Yeah, and I think the big thing is, everyone, and we talk about coffee, and coffee is really the natural form of caffeine, and everyone's utilizing these energy drinks. Red dye number 4. And like one thing about the government that they're doing pretty good now is they're talking about this so people now understand about the energy drink market, because it's just absolutely killing people. The amount of caffeine and, artificial and colors in there. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah. And my kid's playing football in high school, and I found out he and all his friends are drinking these energy drinks.
Celsius, just hammering them?
Yeah, hammering them. I'm like, dude, that's not a good idea. But these kids are like 2 or 3 of them before a game.
I got so addicted to Celsius a couple of years ago. It was like I was drinking like 3 or 4 a day. Coming off of that stuff was like coming off of like drugs.
Wow.
Headaches for days, light sensitivity.
Wow.
It was so gnarly coming off of that.
Yeah.
It was wild. Yeah, I can't touch him though.
Like, I don't think, that's not something I want him to be doing. And, you know, maybe people benefit from that stuff, but I'd rather just have you have a cup of coffee if you need the caffeine. You know what I'm saying? Like,
What kind of coffee do you drink in the morning?
yeah, I just drink organic black coffee.
Okay.
I just drink, and there's actually benefits to just, the coffee bean is very healthy. A lot of antioxidants. Caffeine has been shown to, it can improve physical performance. It can improve mental performance. It's even thought that it can increase your insulin sensitivity, which is, people get that confused. You want to be insulin sensitive. It can improve that, which it can help stave off type 2 diabetes. There's a lot of benefits to caffeine as long as it's in moderation. And so, I drink it black. You can certainly kill those health benefits when you're pouring cream and sugar and all those other things. And, you know, my kids come home with these Starbucks things, these Frappuccinos, which are like drinking, like,
It's a milkshake.
It's a milkshake. It's like eating 4 Snickers bars. It's like, that's not a healthy way to do it.
No, it's not.
But just black coffee in the morning, maybe if you want to put a little almond milk or something, totally healthy.
Yeah. We have a nice organic Guatemalan to give him on the way out.
There we do.
Great.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave you with Dr. Diamond's medicine. I'm going to leave you with our skincare line, the InstaFacial collection.
I'm going to use it.
Products. Yeah, I'm going to leave you with
my
that.
wife will be very happy to see me with a skincare routine.
Yeah,
You don't have one right now, do you?
No, you know what? You know what I have?
What?
I have the same Neutrogena
Neutrogena. They're still in business?
anti-acne face wash I've used for 20 years.
Where'd you get that, from Melrose
Yeah,
Place?
this will really improve your
CVS,
skin.
bro.
So and I'll go over this with you again, but you're gonna use this and this in the morning, and then you're gonna use this, and this at night. And that's it.
Okay.
It's simple steps. It takes 2 seconds. And so that's your laser in a bottle. That's the retinoid cream. So that's only at night.
Smell it, Jack.
Does this doesn't have some like Laotian child's foreskin in here?
No,
or anything,
no,
right?
no, no,
Okay.
no. That's your laser in the bottle. This is your daily dose of PRP. This is your daily dose of your blood with all the growth factors.
Okay.
And this is the highest level of collagen technology to just completely boost your skin's collagen. So it's a 3-step process. It's simple. It takes 2 seconds, and honestly, I have so many guys who tell me their women are stealing this out of their cabinets. Like, the first time I've ever heard that. Most of the time, guys are stealing stuff out of their women's cabinet.
Yeah.
But literally, women steal this out of their guy, because, like, guys love it, women love it. It's
you're
awesome.
glowing. Do you use it twice a day?
Yeah, twice a day. It's
Wow,
this.
well, your face
This
is
is
amazing.
it. I've never,
amazing.
and being a weightlifter and all this stuff and all the creatines, I've never been accused of having good skin in my whole life. People comment on my skin.
skin's
It's crazy.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
this
no,
is
I
all
was-
I'm doing.
yeah,
This is
like
all I'm
you-
doing.
It's crazy
It's
how
crazy.
your skin is glowing.
It's crazy. I'm like, it's
You look amazing.
It's hard to believe.
And with that, I'd like to thank Jason Diamond, Dr. Diamond, for being an unbelievable guest today.
Oh, this is awesome. I could
It's
sit
been
here for
great.
like 3
Yeah,
hours,
yeah.
actually. I got so
Yeah.
many more questions, but,
Yeah.
you know, I know we got a tight schedule to keep,
got a
and you've
tight
got some
schedule.
faces to slice open.
I want to thank our sponsor, Caveman Coffee. We have Nitro. We have great ground coffee, and we'll get it for you on the way out. Thank you very much.
Great.
Yeah, thank you, Dr.
Yeah,
Jason.
you're welcome. My pleasure. Yeah.
Trying Not to Die, powered by Caveman Coffee.